Hey guys, it's Brooke here, and today I wanted to do a video about something that I've been seeing a lot on the internet and throughout music and art and cartoons and TV and pretty much all forms of success on planet Earth. I want to talk today about blood contracts and selling your soul for fame. Now, a lot of people will ask, what does that mean? Is this just a figure of speech? Is it something that's really real? Is the devil real or the dark forces real? Or this is just a saying when you sign a contract and you don't read the fine print and you end up in a really bad situation for the rest of your life, being bound to either the music industry or being bound to um, signing a contract with a company that they own you and you're a slave. Is it just a figure of speech? Sell my soul. Well, let's talk about it in tonight's discussion. And as you can see, I put some of my artwork in this video. And this is one of my characters. Her name is Miss Cyclone. She's a Hollywood actress. And she's saying something here. So just pay close attention here. And so let's talk about it. Are blood contracts real? And are signing contracts, legally binding contracts with the dark forces real? Or is just, you know, just someone saying, oh, I signed a bad contract with this record label. I did a deal. I did all this work. I made all this money. My album went platinum 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and I'm still broke, you know, and I'm just going to get really deep into it and make it as simple as possible. In my videos, I try to make things as simple as possible so that people can understand. I could get on here and say really fancy stuff and sound intelligent stuff, but on my channel, it's all about learning. And sometimes when you say fancy words and all this stuff and try to sound smart, I mean, I can try to sound smart, but I want people to learn this information. So let's get to it. Let's talk about selling your soul first. Now, I'm going to just say this from experience. Lately, I've been having dreams. As you guys know, I've spoke about in other videos. I astral travel. I have really vivid and powerful dreams and messages from the Most High, and also situations that happen in my dreams that, I'm dealing with spirits, I'm dealing with different forces. So I'm going to talk about it. So here's my experiences with this situation. So I'm going to give you guys a little background with myself. As a little girl, I used to love cartoons and movies, and I was a huge 90s nerd and geek. I love video games, movies, cartoons, and music. I said to myself when I was younger, man, I want to be famous. I want to be an action star. I want to be an action star. I want to be the female version of Keanu Reeves, or the female version of who are the really badass action stars out there. I want to be like Mila Jovovich from The Fifth Element. I was like, man, these are such kick-ass movies. Like, I want to do something really cool with my life. I used to really like stars too, like Lucille Ball. I love her comedy and stuff like that. I love cartoons. I wanted to do something in the creative field, so I was like, man, I just one day I want to be famous and I want to be successful, have a great cartoon, or be an actress or something. So I'm working really hard in my life. I started my own business, and I'm working on my cartoons and my cartoon characters, and studying how to do voiceover work and reading scripts out loud. I even got to the point where I took certain call center jobs just so that I could be able to read scripts and practice sounding better over the phone, and practice sounding better recording my voice, so I could learn how to do that and reading out loud. So I wanted to do something in the creative field so bad. I was in the studio doing music, I'm doing cartoons, so I'm doing it all. I'm trying to get myself out there. But when I was younger, when you're young, you're starry-eyed. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait. One day I'm going to be famous and stuff. And, you know, and so I'm working on my stuff, and throughout the years, I'm getting better and better and better at it. When you first start out, you're not the greatest at it. You kind of suck, but you get better at it. And then I started like really putting myself out there, and I started having strange dreams. And this is around the time before I was really, because I was a truther since I was a kid. I was into like aliens, UFOs, studying that kind of stuff for a long time because I had experiences with that. But, so I want to be famous. I started having these weird dreams a long time ago before this stuff really started coming out about the Illuminati and stuff. I was having dreams of going to strange, exotic places and like places far, far away in forest somewhere in a mansion. And I'll be hanging out with like celebrities, famous people, and like people in very expensive suits and ties and nice hair and the elites pretty much. I would go to these mansions far, far away somewhere in remote locations. One time I went to a mansion in one of my dreams. It was very powerful, it felt so real. I went to a mansion, it was very dark in the mansion. It was very, very dark. It had brown walls and floors and black marble floors. It was just black and brown. And these people brought me to a room and sat me down, and they were telling me things. And this is in my dream, and they're saying, Brooke, you know, you're a talented artist, you're talented in many areas of the creative fields, and I know you want to be famous. I know you want to study spirituality. You want to know the truth. We can give all that to you. And then I was like, that sounds cool. So what's going on? So this guy, he comes over. It's this guy, he has blonde hair, blue eyes, I believe, or black hair. I don't remember. He comes over to me and he has this contract, and the contract looks like and it's that old school kind of paper. It's not like regular paper, like the computer paper. It looked like some type of ancient scroll. And he said, Brooke, all you have to do if you want to be a part of us, if you want all the money in the world, if you want all the fame, if you want everything, you could sign here. And I was like, what? Why do I have to sign this contract? What is this contract for? They asked me to sign it in blood. Now, I had dreams like this. I mentioned in my other videos, I had several dreams where I was approached by somebody who was showing me all this secret hidden knowledge about, working with spirits and working with the other realms and the different dimensions and just being an elitist and being a part of that group. These beings, and this stuff is very real, these people come to you in spirit first before they approach you physically in this reality. I was approached, I would have to say, at least 7, 8, 9, 10 times in dreams with people what I would appear to be, regular humans, which I completely disagree with. I believe they were like dark spirits approaching me to sign something. Now, let's talk about the blood contracts and the signing your name in blood and selling your soul to the dark forces or Satan, whatever you want to call it. This stuff is very real. This stuff is very real. This has happened to me. I've had beings come to me in my dreams asking me to sign something, constantly showing me the world and the private islands and jets and just having everyone screaming your name, and they show you all this stuff, but they come to you in spirit first. Are blood contracts real? Yes, they are very real. And how do people go about doing that? Well, when you get to a point in your career, see, I'm not a famous artist yet. I'm just thankful that the Most High and the forces of good have reached out to me to show me what really goes on because I was really starry-eyed. I was like, man, I want to be famous. I want to share my art with the world. I want to share my story. But you can do that without going through those forces. It might be harder. It might take longer. It might take some more work. But you can still do what you want to do without going through those forces. And they do come to you in the dream state. They do come to you. Now, let's talk about the crossroads. There's a lot of metaphors and there's a lot of talk about, a lot of guitar players, a lot of artists. They get to the crossroads. What's the crossroads? And this is for anybody. It doesn't matter what career you're in. Artist, you're a chef. When you get to a point where you want to do something, you're getting successful. People are coming to your page. People starting to notice you. People are reaching out to you saying you're inspiring them. When you draw forth a lot of attention and you bring a lot of attention towards yourself, attention is basically the new currency. Getting people's attention is getting people's energy. it's not about money at the end of the day. It's about energy. It's about control. It's about magnetism. It's about bringing people towards you. That's what fame is everyone's paying attention to you because there's something about you that draws people in. So everything on this planet is a form of magic. It's called magic. It's called energy work. So this is why these elitists practice the occult. Because the occult, like, I'm going to be real with you guys, it's not all evil. This is ancient science that goes back to ancient Kemet. This is ancient science and knowledge of magic and knowing how to understand the nature of reality. But let's get back to the point. I know I'm all over the place with this, but I'm trying to explain it as best as I can for people who haven't studied the occult like me and studied religion and studied spirituality, studied ancient belief systems. When you get to a certain point in your career, when you're starting to get millions of hits on your page and you have a very successful brand, you start having dreams and visions. And when people are starting to notice you, and then what happens to people who really want it, want it really badly, they'll test you in the spirit realm first, but then if they see that you're willing to do anything for fame, like you'll sell out, anything, someone might give you a call, an email, hey, we're having dinner at this location. You want to meet up and discuss your career as a famous music artist or cartoonist or whatever. You want to come and hang with us and we'll chit chat, talk business. So you go out to wherever, have dinner. They take you to the best hotels. They take you to the most fancy, amazing places. And you're like, and you're young and you're naive and you're vulnerable. You're like, man, I just want to make music. Or if you're a chef, I just love to cook. Or if you're like a doctor or lawyer, I love to save lives. I love the law. I love to make cartoons. And they show you, they take you all these expensive places. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to pay for anything. They have private jets and limos. They have people taking pictures of you. They raise your spirit, and then when you have all this stuff, they ask you, they sit you down. You're like, man, all the fame and the power, especially for people who are nerds and went through a rough life where all their life they've been treated like crap. Those are the people who are most likely to get baited into signing these blood contracts, is because they mostly target people who are losers, nerds, people on the struggle. Those are the hungriest people for that power, because when you're treated like crap, and I'm saying it from experience, I'm a nerd, I'm still a nerd, I'm still a geek. When you're made fun of most of your life, something to a nerd, like when you have people taking pictures of you and wanting to get to know you and wanting to sign autographs of you, signing autographs for them and stuff like that. Something like that would be like a dream come true to someone who's nerdy and who's a geek and didn't have that much attention. So those are the types they prey on the most. So they sit you down and say, all right, we can make you big. You can be in movies, TV. We control that. Then they bring out the contract. Why do they ask you to sign your name in blood is the question. Because a blood binding contract has a magical and spiritual principle behind that. Also, if your blood is on that contract, that means that you're spiritually binding yourself to the dark forces or the people that own you, the people who own the company or whatever. Also, with your blood, they can do a lot of things with your blood, because even though your blood is outside of your system, when you have active blood that's alive and outside your system, blood dies very fast when it's out your system. But if they could preserve your blood, they can inject things in your blood and will actually affect you remotely. They can also take your blood to make clones of you. There's a lot of things out there about cloning centers. The most popular one is Donald Marshall, if you look him up on YouTube. But they take your blood, they clone you. If you sign your contract, they can also do things to your blood. They inject things in your blood, and it can actually make you sick remotely. They can also prey demons and dark forces on your blood that will actually affect you remotely. There's so many things you could do with blood and hair and cells and different samples of your body. So that's why when you sign a blood contract, not only is it spiritually binding, but they could physically do things with your blood to you from a distance. why am I getting so sick? Why are these dark forces coming to me at night? What's going on? They could also take your blood and put it at a crime scene if they want. There's so many things they can do. But once you sign that contract, you're spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything bound to these people. That's why they want you to do that. It's very, very deep. It's a very deep thing. Also, here comes the rituals. Why do they want you to do the rituals? Why do we gotta pray to Satan? Why do we have to pray to the dark forces? Because they want you a slave. See, God and the Most High, these gifts of music and art and all these things come from the Most High. It comes from the higher realms, the higher vibrational realms. And what they want to do is they want to take people and they want to make them slaves, and they want them to be bound to those dark forces until the end of time. So those blood contracts is something very deep and very spiritual and very serious. Also, selling your soul. Can you really sell your soul to these people? Yes. Now let me explain what selling your soul feels like. First, why is MK Ultra implemented in their plans? Because MK Ultra breaks down the mind and the body. And then once the mind and the body are broken down, they try to break you down until you're a shell of yourself and shatter the mind. That's why they have a lot of MK Ultra stuff in, when you see the celebrities taking pictures, you see them in mirrors, which is the shattering of the mind. But they want to shatter you so much until they have the core of you exposed. Let me explain it like this in a spiritual sense. When you see a star in the sky, and the star is broken down and stripped down to its core nucleus, that's the core and the heart and the soul, if you will, of that celestial body. Now, as we are souls, our souls are similar to stars in the sky. Because there's so many layers protecting us from these dark attacks, there's so many layers protecting us, they have to shatter those and break those down. So that's why MK Ultra, they do it. Not only does torture make you more susceptible to control, but they want to shatter you to the point where they expose the core of who you are, so they have total control of your soul. Period. It's all about the soul. So when you sign these blood contracts, so now your blood, because your blood is a direct connection to your genetics and to your soul and your genetic memory. If they have that, they have so much power over you. Not only that, they want you to be a total slave. That's it. It's all about control. They want you to do the MK Ultra so they can have complete control over you, because they're not going to give you $50 million if you're out here talking about truth and real spirituality, not religions that put people down and make them feel bad for about every fucking thing. They want to control every aspect of you until they expose the core of who you are. So let me give you an example. When you go through like trauma continuously over and over and over, you're going through trauma. Like I'm going to give an example of what I went through. When I work at jobs that are like meaningless and remedial and monotonous and boring, you just feel like numb inside. It just takes so much out of you. Now imagine that feeling when you go to somewhere and you're not doing something you love. Because with me, I love art. I love cartoons. I love doing this commentary. I love inspiring people. I love sharing my experiences. I love doing music also. I'm not the greatest singer and stuff, but I'm working on it. I love all forms of art. So I practice. And when I do these things, yeah, it can get stressful sometimes, but I love what I do, so it puts light in my heart. When you get up every day doing something you hate, it really takes from your soul. It really does. So that's why they have crappy jobs and they have to keep the trauma going, because it shatters the mind. It shatters the spirit. They want complete control over us human beings. So let's get back to the blood contracts. This stuff is very, very real. That's why the Most High came to me before, because I was willing to do not anything. Like, I wasn't going to have sex and take it up the ass for fame. I wasn't willing to go that far for fame, because I'm still a truther, and I've always been a truther. Even though sometimes you get a little lost. Like, I was on some ratchet shit too at certain points in my life, some superficial shit. but the core of who I am is a real soul. So I can't sign my name in blood to some for $50 million. I just can't do it. I have to find another way to make enough money to make a living and be happy. The Most High will help you. Like, see, God doesn't want you to be without in a world of abundance. God doesn't want you to be poor. He or she wants you to have plenty. The essentials, a roof over your head, food in your stomach, loving people around you, healing, connecting to the stars, connecting to the Most High, connecting to the higher realms. That's all you really need in this world. You want to have something going for you where you don't have to go to a job every day that you hate. That's soul crushing jobs out here that were designed on purpose to mess up your soul. Everything in this world is designed to mess up your soul. We're in the lower realms. Earth used to be on higher realms, but now we're in lower realms because the system, this matrix, has been hacked. So let's get back to the point. So, Brooke, what does all this mean? What are you talking about? The matrix? And what does all this mean, really? The bottom line is that we are in a spiritual war. And the Bible and religion has some truth in it. There's some truth in these texts. There's also a lot of lies. They twist and they manipulate the real word of the Most High in a way where it serves their agenda. A lot of religions are just politically fueled, and they're political agendas to control certain races of people or control. It's just mind control. I'm not even gonna try to sound smart or anything. I'm trying to sound, no, it's for mind control. A lot of these religions, they're telling you, don't do this, don't eat that, don't do this. You need to actually do research. Go way back to the farthest point in the past to understand, what did our ancestors do? And because our ancestors, they didn't need what we have today. They didn't need TV to have fun. They didn't need video games. As much as I love video games and this stuff is cool, because you can use video games and art to spread truth, and there's nothing wrong with that. But back then, in ancient times, people had telepathy, and they didn't have to take a bus or anything. Some people could just astral travel wherever they wanted to go. So there was some high spiritual science going on. A lot of ancient people did not need religion to know what was right and what was wrong. You can feel it in your heart. They practiced spirituality, but they didn't have like religion. Religion is more moralism, but still, in anything, there's some good, there's some bad. But at the end of the day, the blood contracts are real. The dark forces is real. It doesn't matter what religion, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you practice Islam, anything, whatever you practice, it doesn't matter. We're fighting the same force. We're all fighting the forces of evil and the forces of lies, of deception, of MK Ultra. We're all fighting the same enemy. So if we could stop fighting and killing each other over whose religion is the truth, because they want us to kill each other. That's the whole trick. Like Christians fighting with Satanists, fighting with atheists, fighting with people who study the Quran. We need to stop fighting each other, because fighting is not. Actually, all the fighting is lowering the vibration and allowing the dark forces to win. Because at the end of the day, as long as we keep fighting each other, even if we're truthers, because I see some truthers on the internet fighting each other too. It's not about fighting each other. It's about getting to the truth. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Muslim. If you're fighting for the truth, I'll stand with you. Even though I don't believe in what you believe in, I will stand with you. Because at the end of the day, our adversary or adversaries are the dark forces. It's the dark forces that manipulate the matrix around us. Just like the Smith people in the Matrix, the Smith agents, they manipulate our dreams. When we go to sleep, our body shuts down, and the core of who we are is exposed to the spiritual realms, and we're attacked by beings that have mastered the manipulating of the spiritual realm, of third density, of Earth, Terra, of what we're on, and they appear as they're shapeshifters. Okay, this stuff is very, very, very real. Very real stuff. I've seen them in my dreams. The stuff coming out about the Illuminati is getting exposed. These blood contracts. And after these people sign these blood contracts, these stars, they're like, oh, I'm going to be famous. Yeah, they're famous. They get the fame, they get the money. And in the beginning, you know, these elitists, they don't do horrible stuff. It's a gradual process. That first they'll be like, come to these parties. Then they have the strange people, like the producers and the people who are in charge of the music industry, asking you for sex. They start small, and then they slowly break you down and break you apart. So you come to a few parties and you start having people like executives want you to come to their private room. And how are you going to say no? I mean, it's your boss. It's, you know, you go there and they start touching you and stuff. And next thing you know, they're having sex with you. And then next thing you know, in order to get funding for your music videos and stuff, people are asking you to come to these private parties, and the sex doesn't stop. They do it over and over and over again. They don't care because they feel like they own you. And then if you don't want to comply and you're getting tired of the paparazzi and the sex, you have to give these people and the rituals, because they do rituals. And I've had someone ask me, so bro, what's the point of satanic rituals? It's not just satanic, it's just it has to do with vibrations. It has to do with forces that we don't see. See, they have technology that they can see beings that are in the room with you, and they have to be fed. Because these elitists, they've made contracts themselves with these beings by blood sacrifice. Now, people have asked me, what does blood sacrifice really do? I mean, I think it's just an excuse to kill people. No. When you kill somebody, right, don't you notice that when someone dies, it really draws in energy? It draws in a lot of energy. For example, if a celebrity dies, like when Michael Jackson died, I think the internet crashed. That's how many people were trying to find out if this was true. Death it draws in a lot of attention, it draws in energy. So when you kill someone, someone's blood is spilled over someone's dark demonic intent. It feeds these beings. So the reason why these occultists and these people practice magic, sacrifice goats and chickens, one thing, you know, you're a celebrity, and then you're going to these, oh, I'll go to these parties and stuff. They have all the drugs. They have all the best high quality drugs in the world. They have the best looking people. They have the best, if you're a woman, they have the best looking men. They'll give you the most mind blowing sex or whatever. If you're a man, they'll have the most beautiful women there. They'll have everything. They have everything you want. It's a true illusion, because the elitists know that the physical body means nothing. It really is the spirit. That's what we're all fighting for. We're fighting for getting back to God, getting back to the higher realms, right? We're trying to get back to the there's different parts of the universe that there's no such thing as, you know, what we see on TV. Like, there are beings from other solar systems that can't even come near Earth or come to our dimension because it's so messed up. Like, it will corrupt their pure mind, their pure heart, their pure soul. There's some alien races that can't even fuck with Earth. I'm just keeping it real. Like, some beings have told me they really want to help us, but they feel like the more that they stay here, the more they get sucked in, the more that they get messed up. Some of the stuff that happens on Earth is unheard of in certain star systems. It's unheard of. Children getting hurt, children getting raped, blood sacrifice for fame, you know. People getting raped, little boys, little girls, old people getting hurt and beaten, their money stolen. Unheard of in the most high realms. Unheard of stuff going on Earth. This is the type of stuff that happens in the dark realms, in the underworld, demonic realms. There are demons. There's so many names for them. They're the same beings. Dark forces, demons, jinn, not genies. You know, they make them look so cute. You know, Disney is so dark. You know, they know the deal. You know, but why they do these blood sacrifices? Because the more people they kill, they soul harvest as well. They'd have technology, or these beings. I don't know how they do it, but I've seen it in a dream. The Most High is trying to help me understand, because some things I really just don't understand at all. But I'm trying to learn. I'm still a spiritual student of the Most High. I'm trying to learn true spirituality of peace and love. They take souls and they store them on ships. They kill people, blood sacrifice them to feed reptilians, to feed other beings, to please the dark gods, because the soul energy and the energy from the death feeds certain beings. So this stuff's very real. It's all spiritual energy. When you pay attention to these celebrities, sometimes these celebrities are demonically possessed. They have demons working through them. They also have clones with demons working through them. So that's why they want all their attention. See, attention gives people power. It's mind control. So I'm pretty sure you guys know this already, because all these videos are on the internet about this stuff, but I wanted to go in depth about how this really goes down, because I really believe that the Most High, in my dream state, I've actually went through a parallel universe or a parallel sequence of what my life would have been like if I actually signed those contracts. I was shown some really dark stuff, some really dark stuff with magic. Is all magic evil? No, it's not. Some magic can be used to heal people, like love. When you sit there and you pray with people and you light candles and you praying for people to get well and heal, that is magic. Not energy work is not evil within itself, but what the elite are trying to do, they work with the dark forces, no doubt about that. They definitely work with the dark forces. They put symbols, because I'm an artist and I can break it down and tell you guys that they use certain colors to, because colors are vibrations. Colors are also sounds in different languages. See, they're all using this stuff to invoke certain feelings. Like, for example, when they want to sell sex or connect with the sexual chakras, they'll use a lot of reds and pinks, and those colors connect to the lower parts of your body. If they want to stimulate your mind, they use a lot of purples. I use these techniques in my art as well, not because I'm demonic and all that stuff, no, but colors are vibrations. Like, if I'm trying to convey a certain message in my artwork, I'll use certain colors to connect and invoke certain feelings in the person interpreting or observing my artwork. So this stuff is very deep. They study this. They have the most intelligent people in the world just trying to work with the dark forces, because they made contracts themselves with them, that the dark forces ask for souls, and they ask for blood, and their hunger is like an addiction, like a drug addict. So these celebrities have to keep making sacrifices. Not only do they sacrifice, because in the music industry, I've noticed certain people would die for no fucking reason. Like, let's just be honest. Like, oh, such and such killed himself. Like, I don't believe that shit. I really don't. With all that money, you have cancer or whatever, you have $50 million, and you can't find a way to just live a little longer. I know people that smoke and drink and do drugs, and they're homeless, and they're outliving some of these celebrities. It just doesn't add up. It's like they're being marked for death. Not only because they have other, competition in the music industry. Sometimes people die because a certain person wants to get a certain part in a movie, and it was given to someone else, and the person who got the role ended up dying. It's jealousy, it's greed, it's competition. Excuse me. Not only that, it's you have to feed these beings. You have to feed these, because it's like drugs to them. It's like drugs, like souls and blood shed and attention, and all this stuff is magic. Everybody practices magic. Everyone works with energies. Even if you're Christian, don't even come at me talking about you're an occultist and you're a witch. No. When you light candles and go to Christian church and pray to God, that's working with energies. So everybody's practicing energy work, but it's all about intent. These people want to destroy, they want to kill, and the more you lose your soul, because the more you do bad things, it takes light from your heart. What is soul light? What is soul light? What is spiritual light? It is the essence and the core, the nuclei of what makes you a soul and a being. And when you start doing really bad things, because that's why they encourage people to keep having too much sex, because sex in itself isn't bad, but when you have too much sex with too many people with too many negative intentions, some of these people could have demonic forces in them. It can strip away your soul, and it can turn you darker and darker. And imagine your soul is like a light. It's like a astral light. It's many names for it. I forgot how to call it, but it's like a spiritual light. And think about a candle. And then the more you do dark and evil stuff, the candle gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, to the point some people do so many horrible stuff and don't want to come back to the light. They're just completely void of light. They're just dark. So when you see people like shadow beings, for you astral travelers and stuff, people with no light whatsoever, that is the one of the worst places to be. Because when you get to the point where you lose all your light and you become a being of just complete darkness, you have no empathy, no love, and no heart, and nothing, and all you do is you get energy. You become inverted. What does inverted mean? What does the inverse of light mean? Think about the way light works. Light gives off energy. Like, think about the sun. Light gives off energy. But when you have the inverse of that, what do you get? Something that takes energy. See, I'm explaining this so people can understand. I can use all these technical terms, but I want people to get it. Like, so when you lose all your light, you become like a black hole. You suck in, you take energy. Have you noticed people who are so miserable that all they want to do is just cause harm and pain to others because they enjoy pain? See, when you have no more light, you start to enjoy things that you're not really supposed to enjoy. Like seeing other people suffer, watching people get raped, that you enjoy that, and you start laughing, and you enjoy. So you start enjoying the inverse of love. So some of these celebrities, the elitists want them to lose their light so that they become dark and darker and darker and darker, so that they end up becoming psychopaths. When you become a psychopath, you can kill somebody. I'm just talking about innocent people. You can kill an innocent child. You can kill an innocent cat or dog, a baby or anything, and you won't feel anything. You'll actually enjoy it. So that's the inverse of light. Those are types of beings we're dealing with. So they're signing these blood contracts with these types of beings. And all these beings want to do is just corrupt people. It's like a virus. They want to make everyone in the world dark. Because one thing that these beings hate the most, it doesn't even matter if you're Christian, Muslim, good-hearted people who have a heart and a soul. They don't like people who have light in them. So let's talk about the spiritual sight. When you're in spiritual sight, you can see if someone has light or they're made completely of darkness. And we can't see that very well because that was done on purpose. Our genetics have been screwed with, so but you could feel it. Our sense of feeling is still intact. You know when you're around someone and something's just not right with your vibe, like it's just like, man, I don't think I want to be around this person. Something's not right with them. They're probably in a very dark state. So a lot of these celebrities, especially women end up getting dark. You know, a lot of women who've been raped and abused and had a lot of horrible things happen to them with men in their life, they end up, their light is gone, and all they enjoy doing is destroying men. A lot of these women who are gold diggers and these celebrity women who are just like, they don't care how many lives they destroy, how many marriages, they don't care. These porn stars and stuff, they don't care how many lives they destroy. They don't care if they steal your man. They don't care. Their light is gone. And that I don't judge people anymore, because when you understand spirituality and go all the way back to ancient Kemet and go all the way back to the ancient spirituality of the Dogon people, and you study these things in the Sumerian texts, and you don't even have to, you study and stuff, but you look inside yourself and you realize, wow, this is just a spiritual war. When it comes down to it, it's really about control, it's about power, and it's about light and darkness. And the more you're devoid of love, and you're away from loving people, and you're around people that all they want to do is take advantage of you and push you through hell and push you down and call you ugly and call you names and bully you and they want to make you dark, because like they want to make you like them. You see that? So let's talk about back to the blood contracts. If you want to be famous and stuff like that, and you ever have a dream where there's someone coming to you with something to sign, please don't sign that paper, and be wary. Be very, very careful and be vigilant, because this is, at the end of the day, when we die, a job where you work is not going to matter. You know, everything, your whole world is not going to matter. What's going to matter is who you are inside. And that's all it comes down to. You don't have to be super religious. You don't have to be perfect in this world. All you got to do is put light. Get your light back. Whatever you went through in your life, get your light back. You know, you need that, because the more you lose your light and you let people take your light and you go on a bad path, because sometimes we all do things that are not right to feel good, you know, physical pleasure. I have trouble smoking cigarettes. You know, I'm doing a lot better these days. I used to just, you know, it was hard for me to get off of cigarettes because I had depression and stuff, and I have anxiety, and I smoked cigarettes for a few years. I'm doing a lot better than I am now, that I was before, because I'm putting light back into my heart. You see, most of the time when people want to do, you know, drugs and stuff, and this is not talking about like if you physical pain, like if you have like some illness where you're suffering physical pain a lot, but most of the time people are experiencing soul pain, heart pain, you know, emotional pain. So they get on all these medications, and it's like we have to get light back. How do you make light? You do positive things. You know, you tell someone, you know, that you really care about. Sometimes you just say, you know, I love you. You're a great person. You're an amazing person. You know, you just put light back into, you make a video. Even sometimes the simplest thing can put light back into someone's heart. That's what it's all about, is getting our light back. Because when you become completely dark, everything that's the opposite of love, you will enjoy. You'll enjoy hating people. You enjoy watching people suffer. You enjoy bloodshed. I mean, you know, you're not supposed to enjoy that kind of stuff. It's traumatizing. It really is, you know, but all we can do is pray for, you know, these celebrities. I want people to hear my words and I want people to see my art. But the Most High told me there's other ways to get success and get your word out there. You don't have to go through Hollywood. You don't have to go through um, these industries. Yes, you will get fame and power, and you get things a little bit faster. But I'm advising people, you can start your own business, and you can do it small. You can touch people with your work at a small local level, and just do the areas around you and start with that and build yourself. It will be a lot harder. Trust me, it will. But the Most High has helped people who are truthers get their word out there and find a way. Because there's always, when there's a will and intent and light and energy behind something, and you have the Most High, there's a way. Um, so I know I was all over the place with this discussion. I have to start writing things out so it'll be more organized. But I hope people get the idea. So in a nutshell, let me just recap what I was talking about. Um, so um, the demons and dark forces are real. They have to be fed. So things like 9/11, these shootings, like the shooting in Las Vegas, these deaths are feeding the dark forces. And it's also bringing the vibration down. It's also causing more control, because you know the elitists, they love control. So this is a basically a one up for the elitists. You know, all this negative energy is feeding these beings. You can call them aliens, you can call them demons, but no matter what religion you're in, we're all fighting the same force. We have to fight the forces of evil. Evil is everywhere. You know, I was just at Atlantic City with my fiance, and I had a great time. But when I was in Atlantic City, and I'm not really a gambler or anything, I just played like a slot machine, like $5 or whatever. I was there, and I was just looking at it. I was like, wow, look at all these people, and look at, and in my heart, I just felt all the dark energy, at the casino. I felt so much dark, dark energy. So many souls lost, gambling their money away, so much pain, you know, so much illusion. There's women around there selling pussy. We stayed at the Tropicana. It was nice, you know, because I'm not into like gambling and stuff. Like, I just like the sights and stuff like that. My fiance and I, we went out to dinner at PF Chang's, and I enjoy myself, but I was looking around like, man, I'm so glad that I have the Most High, and I'm so glad I'm a truther, you know, because some of the stuff, you know, temptation is out there. You know, temptation's really out there. Like, you know, we're all susceptible to that. The temptation for power hungry, and you know, wanting to have everyone um, taking pictures of you and having your name in lights, and everyone's attention on you and stuff. I mean, that stuff is tempting, but you know, I think what really needs attention is love and the Most High, and getting back to the higher realms. The only way we can get to the higher realms is vibration, and we have to raise the vibration of truth and consciousness. No matter what religion you believe in, truth is what will get you connected to the Most High, and knowledge itself will get you connected to the Most High, because every single being in this universe is connected to one source, and the only way we can get back to that source is if we keep following the truth. Please stop with the illusions and the fakeness, like makeup and hair, and these guys walking around talking about some I'm rich, and these rappers, which in their music videos all this stuff is rented. I saw this video with B2K, and they were talking about how all the cars and all the women were bought and paid for and rented, and you know, they were on loans and stuff. So don't believe all the illusions. The main objective of these elitists is just total control. It's easy, it's simple, it's not even complicated, but they have insidious, intricate ways to control the souls that are trapped in human physicality in the matrix, and they're trying to keep us. They're coming out with new drugs, they're coming out with new me too, video games, you know. One of my worst things was cigarettes. Oh man, that's why I truly stayed away from drugs, because cigarettes, you know, were the hardest thing to it's hard to get off of cigarettes. Occasionally I'll have a cigarette if I have a glass of wine, but very, very rarely. You know, I'm doing a lot better than I used to, and I don't drink like that anymore. I'll drink like wine and stuff like that, you know, soft stuff, light stuff. I'm not into getting white girl wasted like I did in my early 20s. Like, I was a wild girl, you know. I liked to party and stuff because I was extremely like a book nerd. I was a bookworm. I didn't really go out. You know, I was into school, and I still am. I'm the same person. Like, I'm not partying, but I want, you know, everyone goes through a phase where they want to party and hang out and stuff like that. And I went through my phase and been there, done that. Don't need to do that anymore. I'm very boring, you know. I enjoy playing Overwatch. I enjoy playing video games. But at the end of the day, um, you got to get on your knees and pray and get connected to truth and get connected to the Most High. Study the truth. Study yourself. Look in your soul. Look in your heart, and you will find truth. Because it's weird and it's interesting, because the more I look into the truth, every day, like, something random will pop up. You know, like, I would ask a question, and then I would go on my phone or something, and something will pop up with that answer that I'm looking for. So there are forces that are here to help us, but we have to tap into that. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night with this video. So in a nutshell, blood contracts are real. Please don't sign it. Please don't sign it, because if you start going against the elite and you sign those contracts, they'll either kill you, make you a clone, put MK Ultra on you, or put spirits in you. They'll do something to you that will destroy you forever. And just be careful out here. Find other ways to get your music or your art or your career where you want it to be. I'm doing it the slow and steady way. You know, I don't have all the subscribers and the views, but God told me, like, Brooke, if you keep working for the forces of good, you'll get everything you want. And I don't need $1 billion to be happy. If I could just make enough to not have to work at another job that I don't like, and do my artwork and be happy, and follow and be a truther, and start to do documentaries and maybe have a radio show or something. You know, if I could do things that put light back in my heart and help me heal. Because when I heal others and I help others, it helps me heal too. You know, the Most High said, don't worry about it. If you work for the forces of good, the Most High will put people in your life to help you on your journey. So guys, thank you for taking the time to listen to my video. I know these videos are a little long. They're getting longer and longer. But I feel like I have to talk about this stuff because it's really important. This is especially for artists and people like me. Do not sign any strange contracts. And especially don't sign anything in blood. Because once someone has your blood, they have access to your genetics, your genetic memory. They can make clones out of you. They could do all kinds of sick things to you. You know, they keep your blood alive. I don't know how they do it, if they cryogenically freeze your blood, or they find a way to completely control you. If you have $50 million, anybody with that kind of money, they might chip you. You cannot be out here with $50 million, $100 million talking about clones and stuff. I mean, you can't do that shit. They will take you out. They will take you out. You can't call out pedophiles. I've seen a lot of celebrities. I think Chester Bennington was one of them. I've seen a lot of celebrities die. All this money, millions and millions of dollars, dying young, 30 years old, 27 years old. Amy Winehouse, well, she was kind of, she was on all these kinds of drugs because she was in a lot of pain. You could see the pain on this woman, very, very talented woman, amazing voice. I loved her work. One of my favorite songs from her was I'm No Good. I love Amy Winehouse. She had a great style, awesome. But man, those demons just, she was in a lot of pain, and I believe she was a truther too. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to end it here. So I hope you guys learned something today. There's a lot of videos and information on the internet with truthers trying to get the word out. Please don't sign those contracts. They will make you a sex slave. You'll be a sex slave to these elitists. They will treat you like a piece of meat, men and women. Men are not immune to this. They will sodomize men. They will brutally rape women. Sick shit. Casting couch to the next level. It's like Super Saiyan casting couch shit on this fucking elite shit. Like, I want to be successful. I want to have a brand. Nothing wrong with making money. Don't let anyone tell you you're a sellout if you're making money. That's bullshit. Making money is good because it's not the money. It's the stuff you can do with this money. You could do something positive with this money. You could donate to charity. You could feed yourself, pay your rent, keep the lights on so you can travel the world and share truth and knowledge. Like, you can do a lot of great things with money. At the end of the day, money is just energy. It's just a representation of energy in physical form. You know what they call it? Your liquid assets, because money moves like water. It flows. Maritime admiralty laws and stuff like that is all about the ocean and the way things flow. So it's like, that's just the way it is. But guys, thank you for listening to my video. And if you guys ever want to come on my show, and we want to have a discussion or anything, please reach out to me. We can talk to each other on the phone. We could do a show together, because I'm really thinking about putting a radio station together, like a Blog Talk Radio or something like that. But guys, thank you for listening to this channel. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you find time. Just take some time out before you go to sleep. Get on your knees and pray to the Most High. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or whatever religion. Religion is moralism, spirituality. There is a God. No matter what you believe in, don't sit there and say there's nothing. There is something. There is. And there's a lot of people out here dying for the truth. There's people really dying for the truth to get us this information. Look at what happened to, some of these truthers out here, some of these doctors who found the cure for cancer and AIDS and all this stuff. Like, AIDS there's been a cure for that because it was man-made anyway. Population control and genetic genocide, getting rid of certain races of people. And, we have to keep fighting for the truth. But guys, thank you for listening to this video. Have a great night.